Well, I wasn't expecting to wake up to this. We finally have news about Elden Ring DLC, a full expansion titled Shadow of the Erdtree. All we have right now is this one image, but they didn't go with 1080p, 1440p, or even a 4K resolution. No, they made this teaser in 7500p. To put that into perspective, you'd need 336 SpongeBob-themed 13-inch televisions to display every pixel here. With all that space to work with, From Software had plenty of room to hide some nice details in there, a lot of which can help us guess what this expansion will be about. So while my next video is taking a really long time to finish, I think covering all the secrets in this announcement can help fill that gap. First, let's get the obvious stuff out of the way. The Erdtree is not looking too hot. I mean, you'd expect that given the title, but there's a bit more going on here. It's visibly mangled, blackened, and dripping with what looks like some kind of sap, but it also looks like there might be two trees here, one of which is very straight and lines up pretty much exactly with the Erdtree seen in-game, while the other is twisting around it, almost like a hand choking out its life. But the thing that caught everyone's attention is this character riding what looks to be Torrent down here, since their hairstyle matches the one seen on Miquella in Elden Ring's intro sequence. To keep things relatively simple, let's just assume that this is actually Miquella. Beyond that, we also see a bunch of spectral graves and monuments, which all hold secrets of their own, but let's back up and see what this could be setting up. The title, Shadow of the Erdtree, makes it pretty clear that whatever is going on back here will be central to the plot. The O in the word shadow looks like two branches wrapping through each other, and there's probably a bit of Berserk World Tree inspiration in there, so I do think this is a separate tree. Kind of. You could argue that it's another version of a Halig tree, since the in-game Halig tree was planted and watered by Miquella himself, but there's also a case for it being related to the Helfin Lampwood, since that's associated with the spirit world, and there are a lot of weird spirity graves in this image. But I don't think the branches look enough like how they do on the Halig tree, and we really don't have much to go off of for the Helfin, so I think the strongest case is that it's made of Deathroot. While not technically a separate tree, Deathroot is made from the Erdtree's own roots, and the branches look similar enough to what we can see in Deeproot below the royal capital. And this might be a bit of a stretch, but it almost looks like the second tree has the same texture and eye-like growths as what we see in Deeproot. So that's my guess for the premise, but where is this all taking place? This environment can't be found anywhere in-game, but judging by the Erdtree's angle, it seems like the shot was taken in the far south. The problem with that is that the landscape looks nothing like what you'd expect it to from that location. This is why I think Miquella being in this shot is so important. So I'm sure you've heard this before, I've said it, other people have said it, everyone's saying it. But there's a lot of stuff about Miquella's world of dreams that was either left open to interpretation or removed during development. I don't know if they've been planning to make this DLC since the start, but focusing on this dream world could fill in a lot of the gaps of what we don't know. And not only would this explain the bizarre landscape, it would also shed some light on pretty much everything else shown in this picture. I'm not a botanist or anything, but I think this is meant to be a huge field of domesticated wheat, which isn't really something that happens in nature. But back on the cut content thing, an unused twin blade claims Miquella possesses the Rune of Abundance, and what better way to reflect that concept than his dream world being just endless grain. These taller monuments also look like the ones from Dark Souls 3's Crucifixion Woods, and while crucifixion is an important concept in Elden Ring, their designs are just different enough that I don't think they're related. You could also say these monuments resemble the Cleanrot Knight's Halo Scythes, or Torrent's Whistle, but my current guess is that they're modeled after Miquella's Great Rune, since we don't know what that looks like yet, and you could easily make that shape out of the Elden Ring. A lot of this might also be inspired by Greek mythology, particularly with Miquella and his connections to the gods of sleep, trade, and harvest, all of which have connections to the underworld, so I do think there could be a sort of Hades or afterlife theme to all of this. As for these coffins, archways, and ruins, I've got nothing. Hey, Future V here. While editing this, I did notice that the arches have that caduceus spiral that From Software loves so much, and the coffins do remind me of the ones used to travel through the underground, which kind of reminds me of the ferryman of the Greek underworld, who's already associated with Deathroot with stuff like the Tibia Mariners. Just a few more points for the Greek symbolism thing. Okay, back to the present. Or the past, I guess. So with all of that in mind, here are my predictions. This expansion will be about a world where Deathroot has grown out of control and is strangling the Erdtree. This doesn't happen before or after the game, but instead takes place in Miquella's dream, and either Miquella himself or his alternate persona, known as Saint Trina, will be a major character. We actually do see a glimpse of the dream world in the main game, being at the end of Fia's questline in Deeproot, and the Deathblight curse seems even more pronounced than usual here. So if these are the same world, maybe the true source of Deathblight is currently inside the world of dreams, which you might already know is actually Godwyn, the half-dead demigod. His physical corpse is still in Deeproot, but I wouldn't be surprised if he could be found in the dream world as well. Miquella, being the half-brother of Godwyn, likely wants him to die a true death both for his sake and for the well-being of this world of dreams. So, after you defeat whatever is spreading this infection, which I imagine could include a fight with Godwyn himself, you'll receive some kind of great rune and make your way back to the real world. Of course, this is all wild speculation, and I'll probably delete this video out of shame if it's later all proven wrong, but I thought it'd be fun to squeeze this video in while I finish up my bigger projects. Let me know if you have any thoughts or theories on this of your own, and if you want to learn more about Miquella and his World of Dreams or Godwyn and the Deathblight Curse, then I'd love if you checked out either of these videos that should be on screen now. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.